Hello there. Hi, everybody. Hi. I am going live right now so I can answer a question that was posed to me after I made another post. And I was like, the best thing I can do is go live, share it so that way more people can see the response, more people can get value from it and understand where I'm coming from. So let's just, as you've seen the title, this is Copywrites 101. Many of you are like, what is a copyright, Nicosia? Do I need one? Why are you asking me about videos and presentations? Where does this all go into it? You always on some stuff, right? Right. So the purpose of this is to break down what a copyright is, empower you to know how valuable this tool is and how this tool can protect your creative assets and actually grow the value of your business, because some of you have shared you want to sell. Some of you have said that you want to actually license the assets to generate more revenue. And some of you have even said that you want to actually maintain the business and leverage the assets so other people. So that's what this is about. This is all about copyrights. This is all about copywriting. So if it's Saturday and you're out shopping last minute for Christmas or holiday season, just watch this later. If it gets too loud and where you are, I really want you all to pay attention to this, because typically I would do this in a webinar for a cost, but it is on my heart. It is on my mind. And many of you got in my DMs asking me, many of you commented, hey, Nicosia, explain more. So that's what this is about. This is my Christmas gift to you. So if you're new here, welcome. My name's Nicosia. My last name's Anderson, and I own the law firm Anderson Law Firm PLLC. I am based in Central Florida, but I service clients all over the United States. So don't feel like you have to be in Florida for me to help you. You do not, because I practice federal law. So that means that I can help you no matter where you are in the United States, okay? So copyright is something that I've seen more people not leverage in their IP protection strategies. I have seen people focus heavily on trademarking. More people kind of know a little bit about patenting, but more people need to focus on copyrights. And that's what we're going to dive some more into with this, especially if you are a woman creative and you are doing speaking engagements, you are appearing on people's podcasts. Heck, you may be even making your own podcast and it's launching at the top of the year. I've seen a lot of you on my timeline talking about some podcasts coming soon, looking for guests. You need to know about copywriting, because you are creating a copyrightable work and it needs protection. If you are appearing on copyrights podcasts, you need to know about copyrights, because you are creating a work when you go and guest on these podcasts. But we'll dive into that. I'm getting excited. But ultimately, I want to change, and I want to show you, I want to change how you think, how you feel about copyrights, and I want to show you the value and how you can leverage it. So without further ado, if you see me look off to the side, I would not be the nerd that I am without having an outline. So I have an outline. So if you see me look over to the side, it's because I want to expand as much value in this area. Like I said, this is Copywrites 101. This is my gift to you. This was going to be an actual paid webinar that I was going to leverage, but I'm giving this away. I am giving all of this knowledge away because I want you all to take advantage of the copyright. I want you to take advantage of registering your copyright. So Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all the things. Watch this. And if you have to drop, I'm going to post this video. I'm going to keep it up So that way you all can come back and leverage this. So copyright basics, okay? What exactly is a copyright? What exactly is a copyright? Well, a copyright is a legal right given to you as a person who creates something original, meaning you got an idea, you took the idea, you typed it, you drawed it, you put it out of your brain into some other medium. You now are the owner, the legal rightful owner of copyright in that work. It is the goal of a copyright is to protect your expression, protect what you created, and so other people, if they want to use what you created, they have to ask you, right? They have to get your permission. They have to get your permission to use it, right? So if you are creative, and majority of the people who follow me, majority of the people who are interacting with me, you all are creatives. You are creating methodologies and frameworks and podcasts and lives, and you are creating all types of things, right? Well, if you're creating these things, you are copyright holders. You hold a copyright in the thing that you created. However, you knew it was coming. Being a copyright holder, when you create these things, it gives you some stuff, but there's a way we can give you more. There is a way we can give you more of the stuff. But follow me, we're going to get there. Right now, we just establishing what a copyright is. A copyright is a legal right given to someone who has created an original piece of work. That's what we call it. An original expression of work gives you automatic copyright in the United States of good old America. All right. It gives you exclusive control. So that means, you can use it, you can copy it, you can distribute it, you can display it, you can sell it. All of those things come to you as a copyright holder. So what are some key things? What are some key things you need to know? What kind of things kind of fall under this copyright thing you talking about, Nicosia? I don't know. Creation is varied. Many of you, like I said, are consultants or something of that nature, but some of you actually create tangible goods. Some of you are in the culinary space. Some of you are in the sculptural space. Some of you are hairstylists and things of that nature. So the things you're creating is actually tangible. But some of you are creating things that are intangible, meaning we can't see, feel, touch, taste it, but it's still a creative piece of work. And even though we can taste it, some things, touch some things, and some things we can't, they are still eligible to be known as copyrighted works. They still give you a legal right to use it, copy it, distribute it, and display it. But I can give you a little bit more, right? I can give you a little bit more examples to make this a little bit more real. So we have something called literary works. Say it with me. Literary works, right? Literary works. And what are literary? See, that's why I had to say it slow, because you're girl. Literary works are blog posts. Hello, y'all. I saw some of these 2024 plans. I want to blog more. I want to get my SEO up. I have that SEO plan. That's a literary work that could be eligible for copyright. I'm writing a book. Okay, well, I don't know if I want a physical book, Nicosia. You don't have to. That's still eligible for copyrights, but so is your ebooks. Ooh, got them. Some of your ebooks that you are planning to launch in 2024 is eligible for copyright. Eligible for copywriting. Your website content, that beautiful thing you laid out, that copy, the way you laid it out, the way you did all those things, eligible for copyright. Even now, some of you are like, that ain't my medium, Necrotia. That's not where I get down. That's not where I excel. Even if you have an email newsletter, ooh, some of you are beasting with these email newsletters. We put them together. Copyright. 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 Copyright is that girl. She is silent but mighty powerful. Now, we talked about literary works. Let's just wrap that up again. Literary works. I want you to move. I want you to move into visual, because I'm a visual learner. I like to see things. I like to go to museums and be that bougie broad that reads the little cards. Like, don't take me to a museum. Don't take me to a museum, because if you take me to a museum, I'm going to read all the little cards. I want to do a little audio, but that ain't about that. Visual art. Visual art. I'm talking infographics. I'm talking photographs. I'm talking your social media. You know them things y'all be doing in Canva. You know them things y'all be doing in Canva. Now look, let's slow it up. Let's put an asterisk there. Some of the stuff you're doing in Canva is not eligible to go beyond the usage of Canva. So please be careful with that. You may have to have a licensing agreement. But nonetheless, when you do those layouts and you put it together the way you put it together, some of your advertising campaigns are eligible for copyright protection. And I just want you to know that as a creative, you are sleeping on not having this tool in your arsenal. Okay? Let's dive a little further, because this is what really triggered me to ask the question that prompted this live. This next one is what triggered me to create this for you. Audio and visual works are eligible for copyright protection. Audio and visual works are eligible for copyright protection. If you have a podcast, you need to copyright your podcast episodes. If you have a YouTube channel, you need to copyright your YouTube videos. If you are appearing on people's podcasts, you should be aware that you are helping them create a work as a co-author when you guest. So make sure you are aware of your rights when you appear on these shows. Make sure you are aware, and we can dive into that a little bit more another day, especially for podcasters. You all need to make sure you have your agreements in place. Agreements need to be in place because you are co-authoring, meaning co-creating, meaning y'all go together real bad when y'all create this stuff and you don't have things documented, okay? But ultimately, I see a lot of creatives miss out on the opportunity of registering your videos, registering your podcast, heck, registering your webinars. Y'all dang webinars. If you are using the webinar method to get people in your funnel, you better be protecting those webinar videos. Hey, if you are creative and you're using your iPhone or your Android, asterisk, I will not judge you. If you are using either one of those devices to create videos for the TikTokies, if you are using your phone to create videos of some type of content, that content is eligible for copyright registration. I need for y'all to know I need for you to understand the power in what you create can get you more money if you can formally declare that you are the owner of that work. If you can say, I own it, I created it, it's mine, and here go the piece of paper, you are setting yourself apart. You are setting your business apart You are in a totally different hemisphere. This is why we miss out on money. This is why we miss out on opportunity. This is why you cannot leverage and get more money because you don't register. You cannot command top dollar for something that I can say I created. But you may say, oh no, I did it. Prove it. Show me where you registered this that formally declares you to be the owner. Because this is how we're missing out on money. Somebody said, make it real plain. Make it real plain to me, Nicosia. Help me understand. I will. Here you go. Number one, here's an example to help you understand the power of copyright registration. Have you ever, coming up next month, we'll be celebrating a holiday for a significant individual who had a major impact, not only in the Black community, but Black in the United States. History in the making. This gentleman's name was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He had a significant impact, and his history and his effects are still impactful to this day. But he is an amazing man. He created a lot of things. He spoke and did speeches all over this great nation, all over the world, actually. And guess what? His wife, Dr. Coretta Scott King, had the insight to, when he made these things, when they recorded him speaking, she collected them and they registered them with the Copyright Office. Guess what? Unfortunately, on his untimely death in April 4th, which is actually the day of my birthday, not the year, of course, in 1968, his untimely death, unfortunate death, his family was still able, until this day, still right now, leverage and eat off of what Dr. King did because of the insights to register and formally declare that he was the rightful creator and owner of his speeches, of his letters, of the things that he created, his original work of authorship. They were able, and still able to this day, eat, live, have a different life. Many of you want to sell your business. Many of you said you want to license the things. Many of you have shared with me that you actually want to maintain and actually create something very similar to what the King family did, with leveraging the assets for future revenue without you having to do all the work. Well, one of the key steps in making that happen, making that a reality for you, will require some form of registration. If you want to eat off of the things that you have done, you have to make sure registration is a part of that process. Because when a person comes to either sell, meaning purchase from you, you're putting it up to sell and they want to purchase, they're going to want to see that you got and you own what you say you own. I mean, hello, somebody. But you're like, okay, Nicosia, I got all these creative works. I got these podcast episodes. I got these webinars. I got these videos. Girl, how much is this going to cost? Like, how painful is this? Can I just put them all together? How exactly does this work? Well, the United States Copyright Office, seeing back in 2019 this trend of creative content development, created a new application process for registration. They created a new application process for registering certain types of works together. This is called a group registration. Can you say it with me? Group registration. Good job, class. So if you have 10 items that are the same, for example, 10 photographs, 10 audio recordings from your podcast that you have not released to the public, also known as published, then and only then can we take advantage of this exceptional opportunity to register 10 piece of works together for one price, one application fee. That's literally taking 10 things you create, you haven't released it yet, and paying for only one. Girl, I don't know where you could do that at. I tell everybody who falls into my universe, have you released it? Have you published it? If you say you have not, then baby, you just saved you some money. And we can all take a benefit from that. We can all benefit from saving money. So if your plan is to have a podcast next year, if your plan is to leverage your stuff to use without you being the one to pull the levers, copyright registration needs to be a part of your process. It needs to be in the forefront. It needs to be something you are heavily considering before you advertise this is for sale. Before you advertise, you can license or be a part of the certification process. Before you step away from the business and think that the systems and processes are there to continue to generate revenue, you want to be able to register, because in all those last two scenarios, licensing and maintaining the revenue, well, that's going to require staff or other third parties to do the actual working part, the actual boots on the ground part for you. And guess what? People steal, people misappropriate, people will use something that you didn't necessarily give them permission to use. So in the event that happens, you want to be able to have a fighting chance to say, I created it. It is mine. It belongs to me. And copyright registration will give you that. Copyright registration is what you need to have, because so many of you have shared, I don't know what a copyright is, Nicosia. It is a legal right that gives you the authority to say, the authority to demonstrate, the authority to say, I dictate how this is used. I dictate how this is copied. I dictate how this can be distributed to the public or not. And I dictate how this can be displayed. If you want that type of control, and most of you are CEOs, most of you are visionaries, most of you are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs who like to be in control, well, this tool will give you that. This tool will validate you in that. And this tool is something that more of you need to have in your portfolio of business. More of you need to have that. So I'm going to take a quick little sip. If you are just joining me, welcome to Copyrights 101. Welcome to Copyrights 101. This was a series that I intended to do as a paid webinar, but because so many of you came to me through DMs or conversations and said, Nicosia, I really am not sure exactly how having a copyright registration can help my business, grow my business, help me get to what I am trying to do with my business. Many of you have shared that. I made a post yesterday that on Facebook that shared how many of you have a plan to actually register your video, your webinars, your PowerPoint presentations, your speaking engagements, the content from that. And many of you under that thread have shared that you did not. So this birthed, this empowered, this has given me what I needed to say, hey, Nicosia, just tell them, just do it. And so this is my gift to you. This is my gift to you. So tag a creative, tag an entrepreneur. They don't have to join it live. They can watch it later. I'm going to keep this up because I want to empower you all with knowing how impactful copyrights are. Yes, it is great because everybody is focused on trademarks. And don't get me wrong, I love a good trademark. But the small and mighty, as we all know in history, usually packs the most powerful punch. And that is copyright. So I would be remiss if I did not tell you that copyright registration, unlike trademark, is not forever. I'm sorry. It's not like forever and ever, ever, and ever, ever. Copyright registration is for the life of the author plus an additional 70 years. It will last you for the life of the author plus an additional 70 years. So that means if you want to live forever, if you know you got the elixir of life, I mean, you probably got some other intellectual property that could leverage you trillions and billions of dollars, but that's neither here nor there. Ultimately, once you register your copyrighted work, it will last you for your life as the author plus 70 years. Okay? So I need you to know that it's not forever, but it can have a lasting impact in your forevers. So, yeah, I didn't take that sip. Oh, okay. Hi, Attorney Jordan of Brazen Legal. She is an immigration attorney, and she asks, can you copyright any written things? Because the way people are copying people's tweets to repost on their own as threads. Hey, boo, come a little closer. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It would fall under the literary work or short stories, and therefore it is eligible for copyright registration. So you want to go around, play around, mess around if you want to. You're going to mess around and find out. The goal with creating these types of things is to declare yourself as the rightful owner. And if you have an original thought that you transcribed on with your hands and took it from your head and put it in a fixed permanent medium, you have met the definition of a copyright piece of work that is eligible for registration with the United States Copyright Office. So when people say, oh, you copied me word for word, you did this. Well, yes, I did. And what you going to do about it? This is what you can do about it. Go register your work, your thoughts, short literary, if you got a series of them, if they all compound or whatever. Even take advantage of registering these things so you can be empowered with this tool to go after that individual. And we'll talk more about that. So I wouldn't be a lawyer if I did not have an outline, which I do. So that way I can hit some key points in this Copyrights 101 video. All right. So a question that I got very frequently was, do I actually need to register all of my creative works? And in the short answer, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything, right? You don't. However, it would likely be in your best interest if you heavily considered and organized the things you are creating and know that they exist and how you intend to use them, all right? But just so we're clear, here in the United States of America, if you are the creator of an original piece of work of some type of authorship of some form, whether it's written form, visual aid, audio visual, podcast, video, things that you automatically get copyright in that particular work. It's automatic. As soon as you create it, type it, get it out of your brain. You cannot copyright ideas. You cannot copyright ideas. But once you get it from your brain and put some effort and work to actually create it in the United States, you automatically get copyright declared as the owner. But here's the problem with that. Here is the problem and the inherent issue with the United States automatic copyright. You will have a super duper hard time enforcing that you are the rightful owner or author of that particular work because no one likely will know it. No one likely will know it. So your enforcing and proving it will pose a great challenge for you. So if you actually took the next step in the process, the next step to ensure that you are empowered, that would be copyright registration. That would be copyright registration with the United States Copyright Office. And that means even if the person who used, copied, displayed, did not get your permission to do something with your copyrighted work, it don't matter because you have registered it And the law says, the law provides and declare that so long as you have a valid copyright registration, it does not matter. It does not matter whether or not they search, knew, should have known, should have Googled, should have asked somebody, should have went somewhere, shouted from the rooftops and waited for the response. Whether they did any of those things, it does not matter, love. Because you have registered with the United States Copyright Office, and therefore they are in violation. Therefore, you are not on defense. They are on defense. And they have to prove. They have the goal of showing that they didn't. And it's going to be very, very hard. It is going to be very hard for most people to do that. And so the law is on your side. It's called statutory. It's a statutory right. And it's very, very hard to overcome those. It's sort of like when you get a traffic ticket and the officer has seen you speed, or if you run a red light, or if you have not paid a fee for your driver's license or something. It's statutory. It's a statutory requirement. And if you do it, you're good. If you don't, the only way you can overcome that is showing that you did. And if you didn't, you lose. Same rules apply with copyright registration. Got it? Good. All right. So not only will a copyright registration help you if someone uses something that you didn't give them permission to, but it will also empower you to get more money, aka damages, in the event that you have a valid United States registration with the Copyright Office. As long as your registration is valid, you could be eligible for more money in the event that someone using something that you didn't give them permission. But that benefit of accessing more money only comes if you register with the Copyright Office. And if you choose not to do so, meaning I'm just going to take advantage of the automatic copyright negotiation, I'm not going to register. That's on you, boo. But don't come to me or another practitioner and say, oh, they're using my stuff. And I'm going to say, hey, did you register? And you say no. I'm going to hit you with the Keith Lee. Okay. It's not to say that your all is lost. It's just going to decrease your recovery. So I want to enhance and make sure you get all the money that's available to you. So let's just make sure we are registering. Okay, Nikusha, you didn't talk about registering. You didn't talk about the benefits and what type of things can be registered. You didn't tell me some of the key things I can get when I register. But what exactly is the registration process? Great question. The registration process is very simple. It is very straightforward. Them people over at the Copyright Office, they say, we got a process, we made it simple, and we're not deviating from it. It is very, very easy to do. So the registration process is completing the application online. Don't even got to go nowhere. Don't even got to print out nothing. You say you're the owner, you give ownership information, you give the type of work that you're registering, you tell them when you register it, what resources you use to create it, to make sure that there's no other registrations you may be impending on. You write all these things down and a little bit more with addresses and stuff like that. You then proceed to the next phase, which would mean you show them what you're registering via some form of an upload, or depending on the type of work, you may actually have to send in something, but they give you the address and things to send it to. But for the most part, majority of the applications that if you're a consultant or audio podcaster or presentation or speeches, you can just upload it. It's very simple, very straightforward process. And the filing fee is less than $100. The filing fee for most registrations are less than $100. The filing fee that can give you more rights and enhance your ownership and your value in your business is less than $100. But yet, you'll ask me questions. And that's okay. But I want you to know that you're missing out on a valid tool that can enhance the value of your business, enhance the value of your protection of that asset for less than $100. And the registration process with the Copyright Office, unlike the USPTO, is about 3 to 4 months on average. We start in maybe 90 days or less, you'll have your registration. Likely in 90 days or less, you will have your registration if you apply. I just want to just be an advocate again for more of you to register your copyrighted works, because this powerful and small but mighty tool for less than about $100 and something that you can get back in less than 90 days is worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. So take, for example, this live, this Copyrights 101 from my perspective, the way I envisioned, the way I wanted to lay it out is a copyrighted work. It's eligible for copyright registration. It's mine. It belongs to me. But again, you're likely saying to yourself, okay, this sounds amazing. This sounds great. What is it in it? What's in it for me, Nicosia? Why does a registration matter? Why do I need to do this? But why though? If you were one of those kids that said, but why? But why? But why? Just know that you're likely a really great inquisitive person and doing great things in your business. So let me break this down and answer your question, okay? Registering your original work of authorship is strong proof of ownership. So in case someone uses something without your permission. Registering your copyrighted work, PowerPoint, speaker, podcast engagement, infographic, newsletter, your book, your ebook, your the things you put together, your social media posts, your social media lives, your TikToks, your reels, all of these things are eligible for copyright registration, and they will actually add in the legitimacy in what you're doing. They will add in the professionalism and show that you are about your business, or as the kids say nowadays, or been saying, standing on business, and therefore it shows you're committed. How many times have we seen people come up, oh, I'm in business, I'm doing this, and they show no commitment, they show no strong consistency, and therefore we don't take them seriously. We may not invest in them. We may not invest in their business. Showing that you are registering these things shows that you are in it for the long haul. And that, my friend, that consistency will add so much value, to your business. So if you want to sell it, meaning you want to grow it and get it to a certain point and then be like, hey, you deal with it, just run me my money, having these registered assets will increase your price. If you want to license it, meaning that includes franchising, that includes certification programs, that includes being able to exclusively control who gets access to your stuff. In the event that you're doing that with a selected group of people or selected persons or company or vendor, whatever, you want to be able to say that this is mine and I own it and I get to control it, and here's the proof. Because when you have exclusivity like that, the likelihood of infringement or misuse is very high. So you want to declare yourself, I do declare that it belongs to me. And if you want to maintain it, especially like with the example that I provided a little while ago with the King estate, Dr. Martin Luther King's estate is leveraging the assets that he created for their benefit. Why? Because they registered and they get to control. Here's a fun fact. You likely have not heard or seen the full I Have a Dream speech, and that is because they have not licensed the entire speech. Hello, control. So we've talked a lot about being on the defense, meaning defending, protecting, shielding, making sure it's yours. But there are some offensive things that come with having a valid copyright registration as well. There are some valid tools that can help you while you're on the offense. We've hinted at them, but I definitely want to highlight more of them for you so you can see the benefit of having a copyright registration, okay? When you have a valid copyright registration, it entitles you to be able to control how it's displayed, how it is used, how you can create derivative works, that's additional works from the base. It also entitles you to have access to federal courts, It also entitles you to enhance damages in the event that someone misappropriates it, but it also can allow you to command a higher price of usage in the event that you do select to license it. So it can give you some confidence boosters in your dealings because you know that, hey, this is registered, it belongs to me, no one else can use it, and it's exclusive, boo. It's exclusive. So again, having a valid copyright registration is something that you would like to or should be considering adding to your portfolio. Because a lot of you got templates. A lot of you are selling templates of some sort. Some got these Shopify stores and having people buy your things. Let's make sure we are copywriting the things, okay? So here are sometimes like, I just need you to make it real for me. Make it real for me, Niquosha. All right, cool. Here you go. Here's a scenario that some of you may have encountered, especially if you are consultants and you are saying, hey, I'm going to come and speak. I'm going to come and teach. You're going to buy my program and I'm going to do this. Especially if you're B2B, like you're getting into more corporate selling. You're going in to be a more sell your product or service to corporations and for their team building, enhancement, professional development, any of those types of things, then you definitely want to lean in a little closer. Lean in a little closer if you are a consultant, professional developer, you're going in and doing strategic consulting and teaching people things. Here you go. So the likelihood is, hey, they came to you and said, hey, you're doing a great thing, or you pitched them and they said yes, so you had to give a contract and proposal and wait and do all those things. Now you're in the delivery phase. Or of your contracted agreement with this corporation or university or school or something of that nature. Well, you, my friend, are utilizing assets within your business and giving them access to it as well. But what happens when they say, hey, we want to record you giving this particular talk. We want to report you giving this because not all of our employees and not all of our team can actually be here. So we want to be able to show them what you're going to teach us today. You now are faced with a dilemma. And some of you have been faced with this dilemma and not realized the rights that you have given up. When you allow another person to record you doing something, that is creating a new work from your original work. And therefore, you should be the author and say when, who, where, how, and when. So allowing that school, that corporation, or that other person access to record you has then given them an asset that you created. So you want to be able to control that. So you want to be able to say, you can record it, but that would be an enhanced fee for you to utilize that recording. And you will only be able to use that recording for X amount of time. If they're not there, they need to be there because I'm only doing this one time and one time only. Unless you want to pay me for that. They may say to you, hey, can we get your PowerPoint presentation? Can we get these slides? Can we use this? How many of you have given speeches and presentations and just said, oh yeah, you can download the slides? Well, you've given access to your copyrighted work. So if you know that you want to enhance your offer, enhance your value, enhance your revenue stream, then giving access to PowerPoint presentations is giving access to copyrighted work. So that's something you may want to consider when you develop your proposals, when you're developing these speaking engagements and pitches. How much of your copyrighted work do you want exposed to the point where you're not getting a back end revenue from it? So that's a little handy tip, a practical tip. Same thing applies when you're doing these speaking engagements and therefore missing out on money. So you're likely thinking, this sounds good. This is something I need to do. This is something I need to have a part of my business protection, my business portfolio. My stuff needs to be registered, Niquosha. And I agree. I do agree with you. So I want you to know that it's not a hard process. It's an easy process. It is not something that has to be complicated. It is not something that you need to go Google trying to figure out. What is the online process for copyright registration? It's not something that you have to do alone. And the reason why I say that is because right now I want to introduce you, if you haven't already seen, if you have not already opened an email, if you're on my email list, if you're scrolling, you're probably seeing me post about the 2 for 2. The 2 for 2 bundle is something that is going on right now. Right now. And with the 2 for 2 bundle, you will get not only the copyright registration application service, but you will also get the trademark service. So that's why we're calling it the 2 for 2. So I want to enhance your value of your business. I want to enhance the value. I want you to declare that you are committed by registering your most valuable assets with either a trademark or a copyright registration. Today was all about copyrights. Today was all about the benefits and the enhanced benefits that you can get from having a copyright. And this process is seamless. It is not complicated. It is not hard to do. And it's something that you don't have to go Google. You don't have to go research, checklist, make sure you have. I have all that. Leverage my expertise to get you further with enhancing the value of your business. And we can do that with the 2 for 2. So just imagine what life could be like for your business as you grow, and make sure your protection is solid as a rock. I just want you to know that when you register and you empower yourself, your price goes up. Your confidence goes up. You don't have to worry about, do they like me? Do they not? But it don't matter. This is your stuff. This is how you coordinated it. This is how you did it. And it is what it is. This is the price. So once you secure your stuff, once you know that you have valid registrations, whether it's a valid trademark or a valid copyright registration, your price go up. It's automatic. Your price go up. Your price goes up. And that is something that we all can take advantage of. So if this sounds anything you want to learn more about, you want to just move forward, take advantage, got questions, all you have to do is just go to the IP bundle, ipbundle.com/FB for Facebook, ipbundle.com/FB for Facebook, and you can learn all about it. You can lock in. It is a solid rate that you lock in right now before December 31st, and you can pay it off. You can pay the rest of it in 2024. You can pay the rest of it in January 2024. So you don't even have to come up with the whole thing. All you have to do is lock in now before December 31st. Lock it in. It's yours. Merry Christmas to your business. Pay the rest of it in January. You ain't got to think about it. Ain't even got to think about it. 2 for 2 bundle is available. ipbundle.com/FB for Facebook. I'll drop the link in the chat. Here you can watch this replay and learn all the value, all the benefits of copywriting, all the value, all the benefits of copywriting. This is my Merry Christmas to you. This was a webinar that I had planned, a paid webinar, but I decided to make sure that my people who follow me, people on my timeline, had access to knowing the value of having a copyright registration. So, thank you. I thank you. I'm going to take a sip. If you're watching this and you're here live and you have a question while you got me, this is the time to ask. While you got me, this is the time to ask. If you have questions about, is this eligible? Does this meet the criteria? Does this not? Ask me and I will do my best to answer. If you're watching this replay and you want to ask a question, go ahead and just put it in the chat and I will come back to you and answer you to the best of my ability. But again, if you have been here and you know you ain't living right, you know you ain't registered your videos, you know you ain't registered your PowerPoints, you know you ain't registered your webinars, you know you ain't doing right by your assets, let's change that with the ultimate IP bundle, 2 for 2, lock in, ipbundle.com/FB. And I thank you for watching. Enjoy your holiday season. Make lots and lots of memories. Until next time.